Welcome to Rose City, the After Show, the podcast where we dive into the world of the popular novel Rose City by author Karina Q. In each episode, we will be discussing a different aspect of the book, from the complex characters to the intricate plot twists and everything in between. Check out Rose City on Kindle Vella to stay up to date as we explore unique perspectives and insights on the story. So, ladies, our icebreaker question on today is, ladies, I know you both saw the first date restaurant list on social media. Were there any places on that list that you would refuse to go to on a first date, period? Who wants to chime in?
For a first date, I mean, I'll go all those places for a first date. You know, for a first date, you're really meeting somebody, you're getting to know them. You're not really focused on the food you're eating. It's not a dining experience. You know, you're meeting somebody, connecting with them for the first time. So the first date meal shouldn't be that important. It shouldn't be that impressionable on somebody, you know, unless you're a foodie and you guys already talked about that, whatever, you know. But for me, I wouldn't want to go to McDonald's, you know, but if we happen to, that seems to be the place that you picked out because that's your favorite restaurant. We'll have to talk about that in the long run, but for a first date, you know, no. And maybe you won't get a call back either because I don't want to go to McDonald's if that's your favorite restaurant. Just kidding.
Girl, ain't no kidding about that. So, on the list, ma'am, because you try to like take the presidential approach. I love my girl because she be really like trying to like tone the hood down in me a little bit. But we want to talk about what we not gonna do. I saw church on the list. I'm not going to your church for the first date. Yeah, church was on the list. So what? Okay, let me get back to this.
Church.
Church was on there, and it was like family out, like the cookout. Like if somebody's mom and dad was having a barbecue or a family reunion, that was on there as well. I don't know what my screen just did. It did something strange, but I want you to go Google that list so you can go through it, because church was on there for a first date. What else was on there? Going to his house or him coming to your house was on the first date. Alicia, was there any thing on that list that you were like, I just can't do? Because I mean, I'm going to put it out there. I think the list was actually really a good list. Like there were a lot of places like, I wouldn't dare go to that. And I was like, you wouldn't go to Cheesecake Factory or Olive Garden? I'm going.
I'm not going to church. And I'm not going to nobody's family reunion. I think I saw that on there too, like a family gathering or the cookout or some mess like that. Not for a first date, because I don't even know if I like you yet, much less your family. That's if I was to date. I'm never going to date, but if I were, that's that definitely don't take me to church or no cookout, please. I don't want to be around your family.
I mean, okay. And the reason why I say I wouldn't go on a first date to your family's house, because if your family is anything like my family, those are some true savages. And baby, they are going to bring up baby mamas. They're going to bring up ex-boyfriend. Like they think stuff is funny. I come from a very big family of messy individuals. Okay. There's 5 of us. And my siblings, they sling mud like nobody's business ever. Oh, remember that one guy you dated and whatever happened to him? Did he go to prison?
No, girl, they will give your ex to come over and have dinner.
Yeah, I come from a family that's extremely messy, and you'll be bringing the new person over, and they'll be inviting the ex guy. Well, I thought because we all are so close that it would be. Oh, no. So if your family is anything like what God cursed me with, it's not happening. I'm not going to your house on the first date to meet your family for no cookout, because if they're anything like what I got going on in Tacoma, it's a no, it's a wrap. So were there any places on the list? Yeah, I was pretty cool with everything. And I know I'm gonna get some flack for this. I know some people are gonna be mad at me for saying this. Waffle House is an absolute no. I went to Waffle House a few times, and me and Kyrie, we have battled about Waffle House. I'll go to IHOP before I go to Waffle House. I nearly died at Waffle House because the floors are extremely greasy. I nearly slipped down multiple times on that floor. I don't like being able to sit at my table and look over into the kitchen and then see like stuff on the floor and everything, like, and why are they bringing all the food out in like little plates and just, I got 15 plates. I want you to give me the IHOP experience. I want all my food on the same plate, or at least 2 or 3 plates. Like, everything we order, hash browns, get your own plate. I want eggs, bring you a plate. We got all these plates at the table. No. Kyrie, I want you to weigh in because I know you like your.
Well, I am over Waffle House. Waffle House is beneath me now. But I did love Waffle House. Their food is really good. But, you know, I got tired of going. And it also depends on the location as well. Because I've been to some really great, amazing Waffle Houses where I didn't have to ask for clean silverware every single freaking time. Like, the silverware is always dirty. And the last time, I think it's been like a year and a half, 2 years now since we've been to Waffle House. I went in there, the silverware was dirty. The cup they brought me my water in was dirty. And I think I had a chip in it and I didn't see it and I almost cut my lip. The table was dirty and I asked for them to clean off the table and they wanted to have an attitude with me because I asked for them to clean the table off. And then the man came and cleaned the table off and, you know, the crumbs went from the table. He wiped it and it fell on the little bench seat. And so I'm like, and then he gonna walk away. And I was like, are you gonna clean the food that fell on the seat? And so he gonna, okay, ma'am. And clean that off with an attitude too. And so I'm like, he's lucky he wasn't my server. I would have been like, that's fine. I don't want to eat here anymore, you know, but you know, we still ate, enjoyed our meal. And I'm just like, I can't do it anymore. You know, it's just stressful every single time. You have to inspect everything, you know, but the food is really good. So if you want to go to Waffle House, you want to have the Waffle House experience, go check the star rating in that area and see what the people are saying before you go visit that Waffle House because the food is really good. And Karina is not BSing about them little plates they be bringing out. Like I asked for extra grits. I asked for 2 slices of tomato. I asked for pickles. I asked for lemon wedges. They're all coming out on an individual plate. Like, like, why do I need, you could have just put everything like, okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Waffle House, I have you feeling like it's Thanksgiving at your grandma's house. Like, why are all these plates on the table? And I had asked the lady, I said, well, I just wanted like some extra this and extra that. Can I have it all on one plate? And she was like, that's not really how we do that. And I was like, I just don't want you guys to have to like wash so many dishes. And she was like, came back and everything was on individual plates still. I'm talking about people act like they want to fight you. Like, I'm like, I don't think I need this in my life. So not going to church. Okay. Because if I show up there, depending on what is your denomination, if you guys are apostolic or Pentecostal, Church of God in Christ.
You want me to?
Did you get the? Yeah, go ahead, girl. Go ahead, baby. Let's do this. Let's do it.
That's why I'm over here. Let's talk about crumbs.
Hold on for 1 second. My cat is losing her shit.
I can hear.
Right back.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
have
think
an
I sent it
updated
to all of
answer
us.
also because I'm
Sorry.
like, oh no, I'm not going to a few of these places. For
Yeah, I was
Thursday.
looking at that. I was like, hookah bar out. You guys, I'm for the Waffle House. But of course, I'm against.
Shut up. Just shut up. You wouldn't go to a hookah bar? I would go to a hookah bar even though I've never hookahd. I like that. I like the bar atmosphere.
I've never hooked. I might have to go. It's cool. It's not weed or nothing.
Yeah, I've never done it, but I mean, like, okay, I went to a hookah bar in Miami on South Beach, but I didn't hookah. But I drank margaritas and I kicked it with other people. We were just had too many people at the table and everybody was sharing the little tip and I was like, baby, I don't know where your mouth has been. I didn't say that, but I was like, oh, I'm okay, no. But I'll trust it, I trust y'all's mouth and stuff like that. But I okay, I would totally go to a sport. Shut up, Monica. I would go to a sporting event on a first date. Like, I like sports, so you want to take me. to a basketball game or football game, I'm down with that. She's like, nope, I wouldn't go. I would go. I would do mini golfing. I would do bowling. I would go to an arcade. Like,
I've been.
I want to have fun.
Yeah, and they are fun.
I would do the coffee date. I would do a walk in the park. So it doesn't have to be extravagant. Let me say, okay, I be telling all my business on here. I be trying to stop myself. So for me, the first time I came to Vancouver to visit T, I wanted to go to Sizzlers. Like, that's like so low budget, but I had never been to Sizzlers. And I'm all about all you can eat anyway, right? But by the time my train had arrived, Sizzlers had already closed. And I'm like, how the hell are you going to be closed at like 8:30, like on a Tuesday or a Thursday? Like, that was weird. So we ended up like going to McDonald's. And it was funny because he was like, well, he asked me, well, what do you want to eat? And I was like, at this point, it's getting late. Let's just grab some McDonald's. He was like, that's not okay. And I'm like, it's going to have to be okay though. So we went to McDonald's and I was like, give me that double cheeseburger and a small fry. And he was like, you're ordering off the dollar menu? And I was like, yeah, because I didn't know better, then I was like on that. I was living that cheap lifestyle, what I'm saying? I came from Kitty and outright, and they was the budget king and queen for no reason. So I was like, is that a problem? And he's like, no, you going to get a number today. And I was like, a number? I didn't grow up. Yeah, I didn't grow up with the numbers. Like, my mama was always on that value menu, like what them French fries look like. And then what my mom would do, she would like get a small fry, and then like all 5 of us would have to put our little grubby fingers. Like, a small fry though, you gonna make 6 people, including herself, 5 kids and 1 adult. So, and I had a daddy, but he wasn't like around. He was probably at home somewhere because my dad was not doing family outings. He was like, F that. That's way too many kids for my taste. So my mom would take us, and so she might buy like a couple hamburgers and then split them in half, and then you get a half. She was always trying to figure out a way to make something work. So I didn't. Now that I think back, that was really unnecessary because she worked at the hospital. My dad owned the business. Like, why?
Your parents were not broke. I don't understand. They make y'all go through what y'all went through.
Baby, we had to share a stick of gum, like a stick of gum that had to be broken up 5 ways. My mom, and that was like, it was only 25 cents for some Winter Fresh. She didn't care. Yeah, Kitty, I put you out there. She'd be watching this too. She'd call me. I saw what you said about me on the podcast. I'm like, what do you think? Sorry, the devil's using me. All right, get back to the list. I would definitely. So, okay, back to what I was saying. So T made me get a number, and I was like, wow, he really trying to upgrade my life. He got me a number 1. So I got a number, but when I went there, I know Lisa was like, I'm embarrassed for you, but it got better because when I got back to his apartment, like, he had already pre-ran a bath. It had bubbles in it. It was candles on the bathroom. There was rose petals. There was rose petals leading to his bedroom. He had roses all over, and I was like, he left candles lit. I'm like, you could have burned your apartment down. He's like, I want to surprise you. It would have been surprised if we would have pulled up here and there would have been a fire truck in front of your building. That would have been a surprise. But anyway, he had everything like really nice for me. So it wasn't really a big deal that we had, Mickey D's or whatever. But, and he went to Lover's Package, even bought me a little sexy lingerie. Like, he really thought of it all. So I wasn't even mad at him about like Mickey D's, but cause I was, okay, go ahead. She's like, I gotta ask.
That was on the first date?
Well, it wasn't really a first date because it was the first time I came to Vancouver. So I always kind of feel like we kind of started over here, but we really didn't because we had already been dating. So our first, I guess if you want to say date, I called him up one night and he was in town and it was like midnight. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? He was like, I'm over here at the casino over there off 84th Street, whatever, by that movie theater. And I'm, just over here with my family. We're gambling. And I was like, you want to meet me at like Denny's? Because I was with my family and everybody was like, let's go for dessert. And so I called him up and so he met us at Denny's. So I guess like technically that would have been like the first little date that we had.
Oh, okay, cool. I was confused. I was like, wait a minute. That was the first date? What? Lover's Package? Sir. You lucky y'all married now. I almost had to call T. Okay, so now that I see the list, I think I seen a different one on Facebook. That's the one I was going off of because I never seen church on here. So The movies. I am not a big movie theater fan. We have to be really close, and I have to trust you to be in a dark room full of strangers with you sitting next to me. So I'm not a big fan of the movie theaters. My husband doesn't like it, but I'm like, if we have to go to the movies, if you really want to go, okay, I need 5 to 7 days to prepare for that because I get a lot of anxiety just being in a dark room full of strangers. I can't see nobody's hands. I don't know what folks are doing. They touch us. It's just a lot of stuff that goes on in my head. I can't focus, so I'm not going on the movie. I'm not going to the movies for a first date. Not going to your house. I'm not going to the gym. Definitely not going to church. And I'm not going to family functions. And I'm not going to a nightclub on the first date either. Because, again, the dark room, strangers, it's not safe. I don't know you that well. I have to feel protected in certain environments for me to be able to relax and enjoy myself, So I need to be in a place where I can see you. I can see your eyes. Sunglasses are not allowed. I need to be able to read you, figure out, see your facial expressions and all that. So, okay. Alicia, I'm passing to you.
Y'all are killing me.
I need to see your eyes.
Those glasses. Okay. Yeah, she needs 5 to 7 business days.
Girl,
to the movie.
I love a movie. You can take me to a movie. I'm going to say, so the exception to going to a nightclub is, I'm not going to just go to a nightclub and we just be standing and like bumped up against each other. So we don't already have a table for us to be comfortable. Then I don't want to stand there in stilettos, Be like, well, we be dancing. We better be dancing with a reserved table behind us. Because when these dogs need to sit down, I need to sit down,
I guess I went to a lot of cheap bars then in my clubbing days. It was first come, first serve. So you had to get there by a certain time to get you a table. And then you have the not so cute chicks sit there and watch everybody's purses or a guy. That was pretty much how it went. I know that's so messed up. But there was always one that would volunteer. Oh, I'll sit.
No, you know what? A lot of my friends who used to go clubbing, they were like, "What is it about the edit this part, please?" Because they was like, I took the ugly friend with me. One of my friends called me and said I took one of my ugly friends with me to the club and she got more play. And I was like, see how God do you though? You was thinking she was ugly and she was tearing up the bar that night. It was like God was like, oh, since you're trying to shade your girl, I'm about to put all the brothers on her. She was like, and she was a white girl, so she was just like, and all the black guys wanted her, and she's not even as pretty as me. Like, she was really hurt because she went for the Mandingo, and the Mandingo wasn't wanting her. I really think God got her good that night, though. I really do.
Well, wow. Okay. Praise God. There's only 3 to there was 3 well, I only have 3 places. Sorry. My mind is 3 places I'm not gonna go. It's definitely the gym. I mean, not the gym. I was tripping off Kyrie. Sorry. Family functions. Church.
I was actually shocked that Kyrie wouldn't go to the gym.
I was too.
I saw that look in your eye. You was like, you wouldn't go to the gym. Because I would definitely go to the gym. I'm like, you'd be like, let's meet up, let's go to the gym. I'm shocked.
Why would I go and get sweaty? And no, absolutely not. You want me to I show up my A game first date, excuse me, and you want me to sweat my hair out? And no, you want to see me like I'm probably going to be bouncing different places and stuff. You don't need to be looking at my body. To be right here. So that's why I wouldn't do the gym for the first date, because you wear certain things on to the gym, and you bouncing and. Anyways, no, not for me.
All I know is the date's gonna be over after we done working out, because I sweat, you know what I mean? And you're gonna see the body in this outfit, but the body's going home by herself. Praise God.
And who's having conversations like that while you're working out at the gym? I'm focusing on my workout. Or why are we here? Trying to get to know nobody.
Church, family functions, and then finally would be a long drive.
What? I I love a good long drive. Oh, I love it. Like, put me in the car, put on some smooth jazz.
See,
like,
and
drive
this is
me.
why I always say you end up in somebody's trunk. Once you guys are established and you guys are in a relationship, but for the first date, I'm gonna take you somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean.
Not for the first date.
But I think that before I would even go on a first date, I probably would have been talking to that person for like a while. You know, I mean, it probably wouldn't be months, but I mean, it definitely probably be like weeks before we would establish something. But still, like you said, you know, you got to be careful. Because if you don't know nobody and they take you on a 3-hour drive, like, we been on this freeway.
Either in Russia or Mexico. And it's like, but it was so romantic. He was so romantic. Like, see?
I also think that for like the first date, you probably really should drive your own self. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll meet you there. That would probably be a good thing. Because I'm a sucker for a long drive. I love it. I could get in the car and just ride. Like, let's turn on some music. I would say Starbucks, but they ain't doing right these days. So, you know, take me a Black Rock coffee. You know, whatever. I'm not even going to go to it. But y'all know y'all dirty. But anyway, Okay.
No, yeah, not for no first date. Like I said, once the relationship is established, I know how you move. You know, we don't hung out a few times, then we could do the romantical drive. But first date, long drive, no. I gotta make sure I make it back home. That's my thing. And yeah, I like to drive myself. I'll be like, hey, I'll meet you there.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I would say, because I'm not going to go to church. I'm not going to your family functions. Even though I wanted to go to a buffet, I don't think that would probably be like the best thing on a first date, because I'm an eater, baby. She eats. Like, I'm not like, oh, I'm going to have a salad. Nah, I'm getting right to the meat and the potatoes and that bread over there and that pasta. So by the time I get through, you know, eating 3 or 4 plates, you're going to be like, you ate like that? Yeah, I have a high metabolism though, so that's why. Yeah, I'm not going to do the buffet. I don't think that's a good idea. However, I like buffet breakfast. I don't know what it is. Like, have you ever been to a buffet and had their like morning breakfast? They do it up big. So I might make an exception and do morning breakfast if you want to go to a buffet. But then after that, I'm gonna have to go walk in the park or something, because I know I'm gonna basically hurt myself. I need to work on self-control. Praise God. So which was the other one? Because my phone keeps going dead. Yeah, we're not going to buffet. We're not going to your parents' house for family gatherings. What else was the anywhere? Oh, and I'm not going to your house like first date, because you could be like a killer or be expecting like a goodie bag on my way out the door or something. I don't know, and I'm the goodie and you're not getting the bag. So I had a situation with this guy, and I had talked to him for a while. Like, anyway, he saw me, and I thought it was really, because I'm kind of like a romanticist in my mind, which doesn't really translate well in real life, right? So I saw him, and I was walking down the street. I was on break from work, and he was like, hey. And I turned around, a super good looking guy standing there, and he's like, you probably don't remember me, but I remember you. And I'm like, yeah, right. You know, because I get a lot of, like, you know, when I used to live in Tacoma, I get a lot of people like trying to act like they knew me. They didn't really know me. Maybe you know of my family, but you don't know me. And I was like, you mean you know my family, or you know me because I work at the funeral home? Like, have you seen me or something? And he's like, no, I know you. And he was like, but, you know, you probably forgot me. And I was like, how do you know me? He was like, I remember you when you were like 5, 6 years old. You went to Pastor Mason's church. And I was like, oh, okay. I knew he knew me for then, you know, for sure then, because that's old school. It's like 1992. And he was like, you were just like the prettiest little girl, and I had the biggest crush on you. He was like, and I was really embarrassed because he was like 11 or something, and I think I was like 6, and his brother used to tease him, but he was like, you were just so pretty. And I was like, oh, I just thought it was like, he just melted my heart. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I didn't tell him that, but, you know, I'm like, oh, that's so sweet, right? So we started talking at that moment. Thought he was a really great guy. I think I told y'all this story. I thought he was a really great guy, honey. He turned out to be a whole American gangster. I'm talking about an American gangster. So anyways, he asked me to come to his house for dinner, and I was like, I was open to it because I was young. I was young, I was naive, and I was like 17. I had my own car. I was feeling myself. I was grown. But before we had the date, I was like, so should I bring something? He's like, no, it's cool. I'm gonna cook for you. I'm from New Orleans, so I'm about to do this jambalaya. And I was like, oh, a man who can cook, great. So I said I'll bring a cake, and so I was like, well, like, what do you want to do after like dinner's over? This is back in the day. I was like, I can go to Blockbuster and get a movie. He was like, I mean, you can if you want to. And I was like, that was kind of strange that he was just like that. And so he was like, so what do you want to do after the movie's over? And I thought, what? So I was like, make sure I turn my mic up. I was like, did you want to talk? Because in my mind I was going to say, I'm going home. And I was like, well, we can like talk if you want, like, you know. And then he was just like, so what are we going to do after that? And I was like, I'm going to go home. And he was like, yeah, right. And I didn't like, I was like, his tone was just dirty. Like, he was not dirty like, ooh, sexy. He was dirty like he had an attitude, you know, and I was going to have to tune that up. So he was just like, no, this is what's going to happen. You're going to come over, you're going to eat this food, and you're going to ride me on this couch. And I was like, oh, clutch his pearls. That's what he said to me. And I was like, what? I was like, I'm going to ride you. I was like, no, you got me messed up. That's not the type of person I am. And he was like, yeah, you all talk like that. You know, I know you women. As soon as a man feeds you, y'all ready to go to town. And I was like, God, it was just so disrespectful. And I was so shocked. I didn't know what to do because I wasn't the savage back then. Baby, I would have ate his tail up. I mean, I would have read him for filth, hung up and blocked him. But because I was in my church girl phase, trying to be a sweet little girl, he told me I was going to ride him. And I was like, no, I'm not. So he was like, yeah, okay. And he was like, and we're going to tear it up on the couch. He's explaining to me what he's going to do. And I said, oh, no. That's okay. So I told him, no, I'm not going to be coming over. We're done with that. And so apparently he was offended that I didn't want to come over and get taxed on the first night. I wasn't going to do it. So a few weeks had went by because I was like, he's wilding. He calls me up one night and he's talking to me. And I'm like, what are you doing up at 3 a.m. in the morning? Because he lived in Kent. So I'm like, what are you doing? And girl, you know where he was at, Monica? He was in front of Brown Star Grill. And you remember Brown Star Grill was not a place. Like that's where drug deals went down at. And so when he called me at 3 o'clock in the morning, I was like, you're where? He was like, oh, me and my homeboy stopped by here to get some catfish and stuff. And I was like, at 3 o'clock in the morning, don't nobody go to Brown Star Grill unless they're doing stuff they ain't had no business doing. And so he's like, nah, it's not even like that. And I'm just kicking with my boy. I heard somebody come up to the car and was like, I got $20. Do you have? Like, shut up. And so he's trying to put the phone down. And then he's like, yeah, okay, I'm back. And I'm like, I heard what that man asked you. He's like, you didn't hear nothing. I was like, I heard what that man asked you. He's asking you for drugs. And he's like, okay. I do a little something on the side while I go to college. He lied. He told me he went to Highline Community College. He drove a nice Lexus that explained, you know, some of these things for him to be so young and have like this really, really nice car. He was selling dope. So I let him know, baby, I can't do it. You know, I got to be at work in the morning. I'll talk to you later. So we didn't talk again for another few weeks. He calls me up and he tells me, hey, I'm going to take a trip to California and I really, really want you to come. In my mind, it was like, shut him down. But another part of my mind, because I'm petty, was like, see where this goes, right? So I'm talking to him on the phone. And he's all like, okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to California. We're going to leave tomorrow. I got to go down there and pick up a package. So I figured, he said something was coming from Mexico. And I'm like, this dude is selling dope. So I can't. But in my mind, play along, right? Because you know you ain't going nowhere. But let's see where this goes. So he's like, I'm going to fly us out. And then he said that my homeboy and his girlfriend's coming. And so I'm going to get 2 rooms. And I said, so is me and her going to sleep in the same room together? And he was like, no. You're sleeping in a room with me. And I was like, no, sir, because I'm not your girlfriend and I'm not doing that with you. And he was like, I'm telling you right now, if I buy you a plane ticket and I fly you out to California and I'm taking you shopping and I'm buying you food, you giving up something. And I was like, my God, my Jesus and my Christ. The man told me, honey, he was going to have to charge me. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing was for free. So he was like, you can play with me if you want to. He was like, but you giving up something. And I was like, no, it's okay. And so, of course, I didn't go. And I had to let him know, like, he got sick of me because he was like, you know, I'm trying to be nice to you. I'm trying to fly you out somewhere. I'm telling you, I'm going to take you shopping. I'm telling you, I'm going to buy you stuff. And you acting all like this. So we didn't go anywhere with that. I didn't go. I didn't like the fact that he was going to demand himself on me. Yeah, it just didn't work. He was so handsome. But, baby, he was a whole devil. What you want to say about it? So at least he was like, I got something to say.
No, I'm just over here laughing at you. I know somebody that's a handsome demon. But no, I'm just, he was really bold with that "you gonna ride me" mess. I'm like, really? Wow. I mean, you just know.
Back.
Right.
I didn't believe he talked to me like that. I was like, I'm going to do what? I mean, if we were like in a relationship, I'm definitely throwing it back, but we're not together. I'm not throwing nothing on you. Like, and he wanted that to be the first date. So that's why I'm not going to nobody's house, because they expected something. What you want to say, kitty egg?
Nothing. That's just crazy. I know I've heard this story before, but I feel like it's crazy every time I hear it. So, like, oh my God. Coming over there trying to tax that pussy.
There was definitely going to be a pussy tax if he was going to pay for anything. And I was just like, is that what people think? Pussy tax, baby. Taxing that.
Yoni tax. Yoni tax.
Yoni tax. That's my yoni. I just, so yeah, back to that little list. I'm not going to your house because I don't know why people feel like, well, I mean, you should have seen what it was. I mean, I ordered Domino's, got them chicken wings and that bread. Like, you should already know what it was. And I had a Pepsi and a Sierra Mist. Like, you should already know what was up, sis. Woo! You should already know what it was. So if, you know,
if it's bread and chicken wings.
I mean, that cheesy bread, baby.
I might come out of character. Cheesy bread.
He's like a hobo. Come out of character for cheesy bread. I don't think I'm ever going to look at cheesy bread the same. Be like, might give you a little dance. Might give you a little treat for that cheesy bread. We have a problem. We have a real problem. Coming unglued for cheesy.
They're talking about what we ain't gonna do. Go ahead and give us some cheesy bread. Cheesy bread. Talk.
Game over. Shut down. It's a wrap. I got tears coming out of my eyes, but I think for the most part, there was a lot of places on there I would have enjoyed myself. I'll go to Red Lobster. I'll go to Ringside too. Like I'll go to Chart House. You know, I'm not above Olive Garden. You know, so I think the moral of the story is, people, if you communicate before a date, you don't have to be worried about people wanting to jump out of cars because you showed up to KFC. Kyrie, you had that. You had a situation where somebody took you to KFC.
What happened?
Oh my goodness. So back when I used to work at the casino, there was this older gentleman. He kept trying to take me on a date. He asked me for months, can I take you on a date? Please, can I take you on a date? You're just the most beautiful woman I ever seen. Can I take you on a date? No, it's okay. That's fine. I'm not interested. I'm not dating, whatever. I think like 6 months later, one of my friends was like, I am so sick of this man talking about you. Can you please let him take you on a date? He wants to just go out with him and have a conversation so he can stop talking my head off about it. So I was like, okay, whatever, fine, let's do it. Told the guy, sure, I'll go on a date with you. So I think it was like, that Friday, that Saturday or something. He sent me the address. He didn't tell me where we were going. Why'd I pull up to a KFC? I'm like, you've been trying to get at me for 6 months, and okay, all right. So he just went on about how much KFC was a great restaurant. He loves their food and all that stuff. So I was like, okay. Needless to say, there wasn't a second date, but you know, that's what happened.
I think it really is,
but
I
funny.
think that it is funny. I think if you want to avoid confusion, the best thing you should do is kind of talk about what are some ideas or what are some places you like to eat. I don't think we should just assume. Some people have seafood allergies, and if you took me to McGraw's, fish house, and I can't eat seafood, that's going to be a problem, right? I don't have a seafood allergy, but there are people who have those types of things. I think, yeah, you do. So you need to talk about what is okay and what's not, and it'll avoid confusion. And speaking on that, the lady who did the whole skit about the whole cheesecake thing and I'm not going, that was a skit. And so many people took it as it was the gospel. Like, no, she really thought more of herself. She can if she wants to. She's fine. But It was a skit. People just yeah. Remember that Remember the lady was like, "I look too nice to be, taken to Cheesecake Factory." That was a skit. That wasn't even real.
So they
And people
both
just-
yeah. That's why I don't like.
There was another thing that went viral a few years ago where there was a woman and her dude went out of town, and he basically pulled out his phone and was like, "If you don't give me some of that sweet cat, you're not going to go home. Like, I'm not going to give you your ticket." And then so she was like, I didn't come out here, to sleep with you. And then it was this whole thing in the comments like, if you get flued out, should you give out some, And so, yeah, it come to find out that wasn't real either. There was another situation that wasn't real where the guy shows up to he shows up to his child's mother's salon and he brings his son something to eat. And she was like, "You didn't bring my kids anything to eat." And there was a whole this debate. Should he have brought all the kids something to eat? No, that's not his. That was a skit too.
You know what? Never mind. No one can do it. That's something we could talk about.
Yeah. There'd be stuff that, I promise to God. These people be putting stuff out there, and then I feel like it just becomes this whole gender war, culture war, and this big clash. And it's just like, it's not really that necessary. If you want to avoid foolishness, have a conversation, find out where somebody's going. Because don't tell me I'm taking you somewhere really special, really, really nice. Because special and really, really nice is different depending on the person. If you tell me something's going to be special and really, really nice, and I show up in some red bottoms, and you take me to a cliff because you want to have a date in the wilderness, but I hadn't had to hike and these. See what I'm saying? I'm not dressed appropriate for that. I should have came with hiking boots on. You feel me? So that's a special view. It's very beautiful, but I should have been told, "Hey, I want to take you up here. Hike up this mountain. There's a beautiful place. It's gonna be sunset. Like, let me know. We can talk about that." I'm not prepared for this journey in them shoes, in this dress. Like, I'm not prepared for that. So it's communication. If you communicate, you're good. What did you want to say, Kyrie? Because you was looking like, I'm not hiking.
Yeah, you can go ahead and add hiking to the list. I'm not hiking. You're gonna have me all breathing heavy and sweating, working up this hill. How can you have a conversation with somebody like that?
So I wouldn't go on a long drive. I wouldn't go to church.
You're on some journey stuff. I feel like you capping right now. I feel like you'd be like, "Oh, you want to take me on a hike? Okay, I packed some trail mix."
Girl, you know she hiking and mountain gear. She got climbing gear back there.
Okay, old me and new me. So old me, yes, that chick, she would do a lot of things. Okay, new me,
I'm still learning and processing the new Monica because I'm talking about the old Monica. Somebody say, "I want to take you to the gym." Okay,
listen,
I want to take you hiking. Okay, she's like, I'm not doing that no more. I'm like, wow. Honey, elevation. She said, "You ain't taking that."
Both of y'all. Y'all both are new.
On that new noosh. Yeah.
I'm kind of moving towards heel. I'm still Lily. I'm that nigga.
But we are the evolved version.
You know. But
without a filter. It's really nice.
What? No. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So, I'm not going to family church or a long drive, but I will go hiking.
I would. I think that's cute. Yeah. As long as it's not like a 7-mile hike up a mountain, like, it's a little hike. I'm cool. I think that's, if you communicate with me first and tell me, then I can do this. What are you doing back there, Kyrie? Are you trying to catch like ghosts in the camera or something? You saw something? Oh, Lord Jesus.
Sure did. You better
oh my God, snaps. The devil said I'm here. Okay, so yeah.
The devil like, but I'm not going to go to the Waffle House.
I just felt like the list was really crazy. At the end of the day, it really isn't about the location. It really is about the vibe. Communication, folks. If you just communicate likes and dislikes, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I like I said, I like IHOP. I like IHOP. I love their pancakes. Would I be like, let's go on a first date? I don't know. I would communicate, because you also have to know like what people are working with. Because I wouldn't like Kyria had said a long time ago. Stop taking people out on these super expensive, first dates. Like, less is more. Everything doesn't have to be you dropping $500. And if you think dropping $500 is going to equal out to dropping draws, you are sadly mistaken. I thought that the surf and turf and all that was really, really nice, but I'm still going home by myself tonight. Okay. We haven't built ourselves up to that level. And you might be thinking, I spent $500 on this. And she didn't get, no, because that's not what we're doing though. You know what I'm saying? You have to build to these types of things. And so, yeah, coffee is cool. Bowling, ice cream dates. I think it's really about establishing a vibe. This lady had talked about how her and this guy went on like a really low key breakfast date. And the whole time he sat up there and talked about all the things he doesn't like about women. He doesn't like a woman who's outspoken. He doesn't like a woman who's loud. He like nobody who wears fake eyelashes or hair. He doesn't like this. And she was just like, it was almost like she felt like he was on the date with her, but it was like a revenge date. Like, maybe the things that he's saying he doesn't like, he's describing his ex, and he's like, yeah, she could see me now. I'm on a date with a new woman. And so she was just eating her food, and he talked about how it was stupid for women to have education. They don't know what to do with their degrees, and women need to be told what to do. And she said she didn't even, give him any rebuttal. She just kept eating her food, and he was like, you were amazing first date. I mean, you just listened so well. She was like, she was afraid to say anything, but she ate her food, and she said as soon as she got in her car, she blocked him. Sometimes you just want to go on like low key dates and like catch a vibe, see like if it's a real thing or not. He tore his ass up. In the words of my grandmother, Betty Dorman, he talks all over his ass. That's what she would say about somebody. Yeah, how do you talk all over your ass? I don't know. Maybe it's an Alabama thing. My grandma used to say some stuff. I didn't have that grandma who was like, kids, I made cookies for you. I had a grandma, go sit your ass down before I beat it. That was my grandma. But she could cook. Like, that woman, honey, her neck bones and collard greens and corn. I'm still thinking about it. And she's been gone since 95. And I'm like, ooh. God, I miss her cooking. She cooks so good. I asked my mom, wait a minute, how come your stuff doesn't taste like that? Like, I was trying to figure this out. Like, you were her daughter for 40 something years. You ain't learned something? Like, my grandma, honey, I don't know what to say. I don't know what seasoning she was using, but it was a little different. Like, she really could cook. But all right, that was that. But yeah, I think there were some really good choices on there. There were some not so great choices. I'm not showing up to somebody's Kojic church wearing a red shirt and some lipstick and getting rebuked and laid hands on. We're just not going to do it. We're going to rebuke the devil out of you while speaking in tongues. Like, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to save myself that drama.
Another place where you could possibly get sweaty. At church. No.
Honey, they might move your hair back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was at a church years ago and the pastor was like, I want to pray for you. We're taught, in church, it's not even about consent. These people don't even ask for consent. They just do what they want to do. So I'm like, okay. Honey, this man was, by the time I opened up my eyes, I went from the front altar, like at the front of the church, to all the way back at the doors. He had walked me back. At one time, the man told me, just fall. I'll catch you if you just... I was just wanting you to fall. Yeah, he told me just fall, and I'll catch you. And I was like, I didn't consent to being prayed for. I didn't consent to you pushing my hair out. I didn't consent to being walked from the front of the church to the door. Like, it was a situation. So after I didn't fall out, I got talked about. I got told I had a demon in me. And I didn't want the demon to come out of me. And you should have seen how people treated me at that church for a little bit. And I was only a teenage girl. I was like 15, 16 years old. But because I refused to fall down and play like I have this, like I had a John the Baptist experience, like where you get dunked in the water and you come up and you're like, I heard the voice of God say, and it was a dove in the sky. Like, because I was just like, I don't know what just happened. I got told I had the devil in me. And my sister was like, yeah. And now Sister Marcella, she probably ain't even alive with her mean self. Talking about something. And she said, you got to watch your sister because she got the devil in her. I was like, all right. Okay. See what all these years of church abuse will do to you? Now I'm a savage.
And isn't that so crazy? They'll be on you like, oh, you had the devil in you. Because on the flip side of that, well, you must not have had too much Jesus in you if you couldn't cast out this devil in me. But I mean, can we talk about that? But I bet y'all was still up underneath that preacher's butt, you know, when he couldn't cast that devil out. Like, shut up. Sick of y'all.
They're all like, it's okay.
They're all like, it's okay.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Yeah, maybe next time. I was so done. I was like, well, do I not go to church anymore? I just didn't know what to do. I would try to go to church, and then, you know, I was being treated strangely. But anyway, we're going down a rabbit hole. Does anybody else want to have anything to say about that or the dating? And before we go on to questions, because this was a funny little session. All right, then. Thank you all for tuning into our segment on the whole dating restaurant thing and where you would go, where you wouldn't go. At the end of the day, just have fun with it and always be safe.